There's a legal system in America that affects millions of people, hands out billions of dollars every year, and most of us have no idea how it actually works. And here's the strange part. Sometimes you win, and you never even realize it. This isn't a scam. It is how America's legal system works. And it comes down to one key distinction: mass torts versus class actions. Class actions sound simple in theory. Company does something wrong, gets sued by thousands of people, pays out settlements. But the reality? There's a whole system designed to funnel money away before it gets to you. And once you see how it works, you'll never look at settlement checks the same way again. Before we dive into settlements, you need to know what a class action is and why it exists. A class action is a lawsuit filed by one person or a small group on behalf of everyone who suffered the same harm from the same company. One lawsuit for thousands of victims. Imagine thousands of people suing separately for the exact same harm. That's wasteful and creates conflicting outcomes. A class action solves this. One verdict applies to everyone. Perfect for uniform injuries like faulty products or data breaches affecting millions the same way. The idea of similar harm is crucial because it directly impacts the final amount each person in a class action receives. The settlement process starts when a deal is struck between the defendant and the attorney representing the class. But that doesn't mean money is released immediately. This is because not everyone in the lawsuit is at the negotiating table. Terms might favor the lead plaintiff and not the remaining members. So a judge holds a fairness hearing to determine if the deal is reasonable for all class members. Once the deal is approved, the defendant deposits the settlement amount into a common settlement fund, held by an escrow agent or court-appointed administrator. The settlement may be deposited as a lump sum or in installments, especially when the total amount is in millions. After the deposit, the most critical step is distributing the settlement amount among the plaintiffs. The final payout depends on factors such as the total number of plaintiffs, the severity of the damages suffered, and the number of lead plaintiffs. First, the court deducts costs for notices, administrative work, and other expenses. Next, attorney fees are deducted. Most lawyers work on contingency basis and charge around 25 to 35% of the settlement amount. Judges can limit this for multi-million-dollar settlements. The lead plaintiff, the face of the case, also receives an incentive or service award over and above their class share for investing their time and effort for the case. Once these deductions are made, the remaining amount is what gets divided among the class members. The division follows a court-approved plan of action. Courts generally use two methods, a pro rata and a tiered system. Under pro rata, everyone who filed a valid claim gets the same amount or proportional share. While in the tiered system, members receive amounts based on severity of harm, duration, or amount of loss. In short, not everyone receives the same amount. Even after individual payouts are calculated, plaintiffs must still take action to receive their share. Only those who submit a claims form get the money. Unclaimed funds may go back to the defendant or be given to certain NGOs chosen by the lawyers. When the settlement arrives, the payout varies wildly. Thousands for some, hundreds for others, or sometimes barely enough to fill your gas tank. However, receiving compensation is not automatic. Depending on the case, you may need to remain in the class or submit the required paperwork to preserve your right to payment. Meeting all deadlines is equally important. If you fail to file a claim when it is required, you may receive nothing. Even then, payment rarely arrives immediately. The entire distribution process can take months or even years. The settlement must be funded, claims must be reviewed, and the money must be divided among eligible plaintiffs before any checks are sent out. Most plaintiffs do not walk away with life-changing wealth. They walk away with a share of a settlement that reflects the harm they suffered. The real value of a class action isn't what you'll find in your bank account. It is something much bigger: the collective power to hold massive corporations accountable for harm that would go completely unpunished if you had to fight alone. So, if you are entering a class action expecting a fat paycheck, prepare for a reality check. The settlement fund is worth $100 million, which sounds massive on paper, but split among hundreds of thousands of class members, your share drops to just $100.
That gap between expectation and payout? That's class actions.